All right, welcome back, everybody, for this Monday, April 18th, 2023. This is going to be a recap of the trades that I did today. Let's go over some of the trades we made this morning during our first hour live morning show, and then we do continue on for an additional 2 hours every morning with our subscribers in our live trading room. Starting off, let's go over. We did trade. We started off with gold. Let's go over first on the natural gas. Natural gas was my one loser today on the currents on the commodities. Ended up doing a short on natural gas. This was my entry down here. I did have a profit target, which was sent down here at the green. I thought we were going to hit it. We got so close. We did not hit my profit target on this short, but it did come up to an area where I like to add to my short position. I went ahead and I added some additional shorts over here on natural gas. Unfortunately, the trade did not work out. This was this was a pairing pattern short. Pairing pattern short is one of the patterns that I look and trade. Now, pairing pattern short is not as strong as an HF1. I think we have an HF1 here somewhere today, so we'll look at that. So, unfortunately, I did go ahead and I did get stopped out up here and I exited, but I also reversed. Now, I reversed and I am looking for this 23.95. I was a little disappointed we didn't hit a day. So basically, folks, I'm carrying it overnight. So we'll see how this trade ends up doing in the morning, but you can see that it's just kind of struggling getting up here. So I don't know if I'm going to get stopped out of this or not. We'll know in the morning whether it's going to be a good trade or not. So I have resting orders in here to get out and or reverse if it I will take the reverse in the morning if it does reverse, since it is the following day. Typically, I will not take two losses in any one instrument during the day. That's my max. More two, and I'm pretty much out. So anyway, so I ended up losing on natural gas. But like I said, I do have some longs on. We'll see how those. Now, if I do hit these targets either tonight or tomorrow morning or during the day tomorrow before I come back down, then I'm going to end up netting. I should cover this loss here on this natural gas and come out with a profit. All right, let's look at gold because that was the trade you all saw me make this morning on gold. It was a short. And let's take a look at that real quick. All right, so here's a 1 minute chart of gold. Gold is, it was just a really smooth little trade here. So we went ahead and we took a short here. This was actually an HF3. I'm going to try to start marking these so you guys can see what patterns I'm trading, particularly for the students that are watching this live morning show, kind of get an idea which ones I'm doing. Anyway, so I took this HF3 short, and it was a pretty clean trade. I went ahead and I hit my profit. I was done. I did actually have a reversal. I did not take the reversal, but that also would have been a nice little win. But once again, I did not take it. I only took short gold, and then of course I did trade a little bit of the mini Nasdaq. Made a little bit on the mini Nasdaq. So net of it, not a huge day today. I was really disappointed because I really thought that I could have done a little bit better than that. And had I continued on a little bit longer and maybe jump back in on the gold, I think I would have had a much better day because that buy hit its target. In fact, it went through several targets on the upside. So that being said, okay, in stocks, we're really no better than what I experienced here with these commodities. So let's look at our stock trades. All right, so here's a stock trade. Just everything went pretty well except for Toro. It kind of messed up Toro. So had a buy entry right here. This buy entry came in around 11:14. This was after the first hour morning show. This was during our trading in the live chat room. So I went ahead and I bought, took an entry here. I had a couple targets sitting up here. I didn't have a whole lot more above it. So I knew it wasn't the strongest of trades, but I'd watched it kind of slowly go up in the morning. Every time I looked at my scanner, it was making new highs. So I got into it. I know I didn't have a real big objective. I really would have liked to have seen more pattern setting up. So I got into it and it failed. So I got out of it fairly quickly and I was down $150. And I said, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to touch it for the rest of the day. Well, I didn't do that. what I ended up doing is when it was starting to come back up again after this pullback, and you see it was real thin, and then we started seeing some nice volume coming in. I said, okay, it was just pulling back. It's gonna go again. I'll see if we can't get back up above my entry, and then maybe go on a little bit higher. So I went ahead and I entered in again, and yeah, it started taking off, but then it fell pretty quickly. Then I got really thin right here. You can see just these single prints, and then it finally came down, and I ended up getting out during the spike on the downside. So I ended up losing another additional $300 because I just should have left it alone down 150. But the net and net, not a bad day. I made a little bit of money, but I'm really disappointed because I did everything that I wanted to do except Toro. I just, when I was getting the trade, I just didn't feel good about it. Sometimes your gut can be right, but, when I was seeing that scanner and the new highs popping in, I did see some buying. I wouldn't say I saw a huge amount of buying coming in when I was looking at Bookmap, but I did see some buying coming in. I said, okay, you know what? This is going to pop up. I'll probably at least get back to my original entry, which was way up here. So, but it didn't. So it is what it is. So I ended up taking a loss on that. Of course, the big one was PTPI. PTPI, if I'm not mistaken, was an HF1 buy. Let's take a look. I'll tell you what. Let's take a look at PTPI was a big one for a lot of people. I know that, and I believe I did take that one. Yeah, I put that one on at 9:24 this morning Eastern. 9:24, right before the opening bell. Let's take a look at it. All right, so here's my trade on PTPI. I entered this, like I said, right before let's see, what did I say? I bought it. I bought in on this at 9:24. So right before the opening bell. Bought it right in here. And I had 3 levels. All right, I had 3 levels that I was looking at. And when it blasted through, and I figured right after the opening bell, and I like to get in pre-market right before the opening bell, because a lot of times these patterns are set up really nice right before the opening bell, and then when the bell opens up, and then you see all the other retail traders say, hey, wow, looks like PTPI is going to be a buy. They look at the big volume coming in on, and then they all jump into it, and that's usually the end of it. And, of course, as soon as the bell opened up, it popped up, went through my levels, and I just took profit right here and got out. So I wasn't in that trade, but let's see. Got in at 9:24 and out at 9:39. When did I get out of that? Like 9:31, something like that. 9:31, somewhere around in there. So, but nonetheless, nice trade on PTPI. That was my big one. I didn't trade it at all after that. I think there were some additional opportunities. I didn't jump back into it. I really don't like to jump. Yeah, it looks like I know there's some buying up. Yeah, I thought there were some additional buying opportunities. I didn't take it. I mean, when I have a really good day in a particular stock and a nice trade in the morning, I really don't like to jump back into it later on. Kind of like I did with Toro with that loss. You jump back into it, thinking that I'm going to go ahead and make a little bit back on Toro, and that was a mistake. I should have just left it as was. But still, I mean, overall, not a bad day overall. I did want to go back and let you know that I carried natural gas overnight, and then late in the day today, I bought the E-mini S&P, so that's also being carried overnight long. So we've got natural gas and the ES carrying overnight long. Hopefully we'll hit our targets tomorrow, and we can have some results on that, or we get stopped out. But we'll see how those trades ended up. So going into evening trading, if I don't get stopped out sometime at midnight or in the early morning, then we'll look at it in the morning. Hopefully they either have hit my profit targets or they're still slowly working their way up. So that's it. We'll be back again tomorrow. We'll be back again tomorrow morning. Please join us. Once again, we do it every morning, Monday through Friday. First hour from 9 to 10 is available to everybody. And then I continue on in our live chat room. where we use Zoom. Keep in mind, though, when you are watching my trading in the morning, keep in mind that I am going through YouTube. There is a delay. But if you're interested in watching us live or trading along with us live via Zoom, where there's no delay, we can get you set up with that as well. All right, so that's it. Everybody have a good night. I'm doing the slate, and but I did a little bit of trading now with the currencies, so I'm getting to this recap kind of late here. But nonetheless, we'll be back in the morning and try to hit all this stuff again. I have just a gut feeling that tomorrow's going to be a good day. So usually when I see this kind of choppiness, usually the next day turns out to be a really nice day. So we'll see if that happens. All right. Have a good night.